What's up, Boxing Land? What's going on? Um, for those of you who are on Twitter, you can follow me at YDKSAB. For those of you on Facebook, you can follow me at Boxing Freaks, two words. And you can follow me there, see what I'm posting daily, see what I'm up to. It's funny because on Twitter, some people are starting to call me the angry fan, but it's not that I'm angry. Is that most of the times I'm annoyed with boxing. Like we spend more time um, watching reruns. We spend more time talking about the politics of boxing. We spend more time talking about numbers than we do actually talking about fights. And that's the sad thing about boxing is we don't get a lot of fights. And then the fights that we do get are horrible. You know, the last video that I did, I talked about the horrible HBO card with I believe it was Bika and then Adrian Broner fighting Reese. That was a horrible card. Like that was a total mismatch. Reese, though he fought his little heart out against Broner, and Bika against whoever that guy was a total mismatch. Was a horrible card. And then if that wasn't bad enough, this past weekend on Showtime, Mayweather fighters Jay Leon fought I don't know who, and Ishe Smith fought K9. A horrible, horrible fight. Boring, sloppy technique. You know, so I wasn't happy about that either. We haven't had much boxing the first quarter of 2013. And for those of you who don't know, I don't mean to make anybody feel bad, but the quarter actually refers to the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March. We basically haven't had much. A lot of canceled fights, etc., etc. But those two cards were horrible. And this is that's what annoys me about boxing is that the networks would pay for fights like that. And it's pretty sad. I always thought in business the person with the money pretty much called the shots. Dictated a lot of the terms. They're the one purchasing something. And it seems these days the networks are paying lots of money for bullshit fights. And I don't like that. Like most of you know, I've been very vocal about Al Heyman. Does a lot of good for his fighters. He makes them a lot of money. But as fans, the hell do we care how much money they make or not, right? We want to see the best fights, and that's not something that we get. But you have a guy like him having so much influence over both networks now. Especially with Floyd moving over to Showtime, and a lot of the Flomos, the Floyd Mayweather fanatics, are now getting their mangina soaked over Showtime because for the simple fact that Floyd went there. But who gives a shit where he fights? Um, but Bob Arum called it a while ago, saying that Richard Schaefer, CEO of Golden Boy Promotion, and Al Heyman used Mayweather's name and the possibility of him moving over to sway executives and basically get what they want. And I guess Arum was right, even though I don't think Arum really believed that Floyd would have ever left HBO. And for you who may think I'm paraphrasing, I'm not. I've said that before, but I'll give props to BoxingScene.com. Today they had actually a really good article, probably the best article I've ever read from Boxing Scene. You know, I, they turned me off a while ago. They were a pro Pacquiao, pro Bob Arum, pro. Um, oh God, I hate when I forget people's names. Cameron Duncan website. Like Fight Hype is a pro Mayweather, pro Al Heyman, pro Golden Boy promotion website. Um, but you know what? Today they actually put out a really good article, really informative, and I'm all for that. I try to inform the fans as much as I can because I think the more informed fans are, the more voice they'll have. You know, when you have people in the industry treating us like we're shit. Tired of boxing packaging shit and calling it quality. But not good when a few people, few players have that much power over the entire industry. And just for you fools who think that HBO is in trouble, it's not in trouble. This happened before when Tyson left HBO for Showtime, and HBO was fine. HBO will be fine. I've been critical of HBO for some of the things they did. Like I was very critical of of Larry Merchant. I thought he was bad for boxing. It's okay to be critical, but he would just totally shit on fighters and do things that were just out of control, even for a guy like me. Um, and then HBO's extremely biased, but they'll be fine. They have the biggest budget in boxing, and now that Heyman and Golden Boy made a big move to Showtime, that's a good thing because there's more money left over for quality fights. Excuse me. And there'll be more money for fighters that are not that known. So maybe this is a chance, excuse me, for HBO to purchase fights from up and coming fighters and develop those that are not that well known yet. Since I'm on that, I just remembered an article that was actually on Boxing Scene because they seem to be interviewing Richard Schaefer a lot these days, where he spoke of I think he spoke of the move of Floyd moving to Showtime, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he didn't. But I remember in that article he spoke of, yeah, he did speak of that, and he said that if HBO tried to retaliate, that they would regret it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and that he said that HBO should put a lot of marketing effort behind Adrian Broner. Um, and I stopped and I thought to myself, isn't that the promoter's job? Isn't it the promoter's job to build up the fighter? Why is it the network's job? The network gives the platform, pays for the fights. So it seems like the networks do all of the work. So then I ask myself, what the hell do the promoters do besides sign the fighters? I don't know. So it doesn't seem right. But hopefully in the second quarter of this year, we'll see better fights. Hoping to see what's going to happen with Andre Ward, who his next opponent is. Um, it's a damn shame to me that he's not the face of boxing right now. Um, and he's not making the big money. But be curious to see what's going to happen with him. Amir Khan supposedly has a fight coming up. He's going to fight in England. Don't know if it's true that he's going to fight at a catchweight against who knows who. Um, in April, we have Danny Garcia fighting Zab. I believe in a week or two, maybe 2 weeks, we have uh, Hopkins fighting Cloud. I hope Cloud whoops the old man's ass. A lot of guys in boxing I want to see go away. I think they're holding up the sport. You know, Mosley, Paulie Malignaggi, Cotto, um, Zab Judah, um, Manny. And even Floyd. These guys have done all enough. I'd like to see them retire. But Floyd obviously not because he's got like a few fights left. But I'd like to see these guys go away and make room for the new guys. Boxing needs to develop, and everybody takes a short-term approach. Unless something drastic changes, if things keep going the way that they are, you're gonna lose more fans, and the sport's gonna be in big big trouble. So we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see also what's gonna happen now that Golden Boy kind of pissed off HBO. Maybe it plays into Bob Arum's hand. Maybe Arum will step up and be able to sell more fights. He does put on some good fights sometimes. His undercards are trash, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Again, if you're on Twitter, follow me at YDKSAB. If you're on Facebook, follow me on Boxing Freaks, and give me some feedback. Tell me what you think. If I'm wrong, if I'm mixing something, give me some input. All right, peace.